Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
So, I got a question for you. Does your website pass the 3-second test? And this is something that you should definitely check if your website complies with this, because people are coming to the internet to get information. And if your website is the one that provides them with that information and content, then they get to know, like, and trust you. And we all know that people do business with those that they know, like, and trust. So the 3-second website test that I'm going to talk about in this podcast today is something that you should try and something that you should pass. Okay. Question: when somebody comes to your website, what do they see? Do they automatically know who you are, what you do, and what it is that you can help them with? Or are they engaged instantaneously in order for them to get the information that they're looking for without having to deep scroll or keep on scrolling? See, when someone comes to a website, whether it's yours or mine or anyone else, especially yours, there shockingly is a short window of attention which that actual visitor has to make a decision whether they want to buy from you, whether they want to stick around, or they want to scroll past and leave. Now, can you imagine if you have paid money to bring that person to that website or that landing page, and they only have just 1, 2, 3 seconds in order for them to just see if what they came for is what you're offering? See, some sources actually put the range at maybe 3 to 5 seconds maximum, which is being very lenient, because somebody, if it's on a mobile phone, they've scrolled once, so they move their thumb once and twice. And if they don't see anything within that 2-thumb scroll range, then it's grand opening, grand closing. Okay? And some people are very mean. Some experts say it actually takes 1 second to make sense of your website. So we all know that attention spans have become shorter and shorter. We used to, compare ourselves to goldfish, but goldfish are like Einstein in the world that we live in right now. Attention spans have never been shorter than they are now. I mean, I don't know what time you're listening to this podcast, but if you go through your social media right now, there's either a war, there's either a pandemic, there's either economy. There's so much that wants our attention, and people don't even know what it is that they should actually really focus on. And in this crazy war for attention, does your website even stand a chance to emerge victorious? I know I've lost a lot of people by now because maybe it took me a long time to really stress out the point of this podcast, but it's their loss, or maybe mine, I don't know. But does it actually concern you right now that people might show up to your website? Yes, your digital marketing agency might be showing you all the numbers of visitors, but are people actually engaging with your content? Are people actually being inspired? Are you actually providing value enough for people to stay and eventually make any decisions that you're asking them to do? Okay, so just have a look at your site right now. Does it make visitors pause in their tracks, poke around for a while, stay and learn more from you, watch a video or two? All right? Okay, because if you're not, and if you're not able to answer yes to the next 3 critical questions, then obviously it's you need to revamp your website. And obviously people at Live Long Digital will be able to help you navigate this complex online world. And I do acknowledge and understand the biggest problem for every coach, consultant, or small business owner out there is marketing is just one aspect of running a successful business. You're hiring and managing new staff, you're balancing books, you're driving growth and a whole lot more. And it actually feels like a constant balancing act where you're pulled in multiple different directions all at once. And at the end of the day, I mean, if you're a coach, your real goal is just to help your clients. If you're a consultant, you just want to help your clients make sense of the world around them. You want to spend as much time as possible, changing people's lives and solving people's problems. And you don't want to waste countless hours each day trying to navigate the complex world of online marketing. And you certainly don't want to spend yet another minute maybe on the phone having to beg people to hire your service just because they showed up on your website. Well, we don't. And you also don't have to do that. And you will still have a long list of clients that want to work with you if only it is instantly clear what it is that you do. All right. So when people show up on your website, can they instantly see what it is that you do? Because when prospects or visitors often have a challenging time trying to figure out what your website is all about, they're obviously just going to scroll away. Far too many coaches and consultants and small business owners set up their websites, hoping to capture maybe the widest audience possible, and so they never develop the kind of clear branding that actually makes them an instant lasting hit or gives an instant impression to the person that has visited the website. Do you understand the people that you want to work with? Do you understand their pain that they're going through right now? Do you understand the payoff that your services can give? And is it listed instantly that the person understands who you are, what you do, and how you're going to be able to help them? So as a result, a lot of sites that come by our way, we're a digital agency, by the way, so that's the reason why we see a lot of these sites. And just check out how your website compares to others in your industry by going on to www.livelongdigital.com.au and look out for a website audit. You get a free website audit if you just jump onto our website. You see, some websites become an equivalent of maybe building with a sign that says, let's use my wife as an example here. My wife is Italian, and it says you've got a sign, a sign that says Italian food. So it is a pizza. You don't know whether it's a pizza place or it's a restaurant. You don't know whether it's an upscale restaurant or is it a takeaway restaurant. You don't know, whether it does fast food or you have to sit down in, and you don't know what the COVID restrictions are, etc., etc. So all of these questions aren't hard to answer, but the average person won't know or won't bother to cross the street, walk inside, and ask somebody if it's not clearly written outside somewhere. They'll just go somewhere else where it's easy for them to just get the right information instantaneously. So if what you do and for whom isn't obvious within 3 seconds, you'll have a much harder time keeping visitors on your site because they don't know whether you are for them or you understand what they're going through. And you may think you're being clear, but take a look at, your website right now and make sure you're being crystal clear. If you go on our site, there is an immediate attention that goes on there. It says, attention coaches, consultants, and anyone who would love to get clients fast but don't know how. So if you are a plumber, then maybe we don't quite work with you. If you are a different organization that hasn't been listed there, and maybe your problem is not about getting clients fast, maybe you want to talk about branding, and maybe you already know how to get your customers, then this website is not for me. So instantly, before you even bother, we have showed you who we work for, what delivery we give, and that's all in one sentence. So have a look at your website right now. Pause this podcast. Have a look at your website. If you just look at it, besides you being invested in it just because you own it, there's somebody who doesn't even care what you do and how big or small your ego is or what you know. Do they know that you are the person that can solve their instant problem right now? And then pretty much after that, is it instantly clear what it is that you offer? All right. So we talked about an Italian restaurant earlier on. So let's just stay with that metaphor just so that we're not confusing you and then you scroll past and then we end up with no listeners yet. So just to extend on that restaurant metaphor, you have to make it drop dead easy for people to find the menu of what you have to offer. All right. Now that they know you are the person that can serve them, they want to see exactly what it is that you offer immediately. And you can't count on them being able to to look through around your website or being willing to dig to find out the specific services by themselves, unless it is a landing page which is actually designed to draw them in with copy. If it's just your homepage, you want to make sure that all your services are listed so that somebody knows that you are going to be able to help them by actually helping them. All right. Don't expect people to dig around your website so that they can figure out the specific need by themselves. And ideally, you want to add unmissable elements in your website. In the same way that restaurants put maybe splashy ads on their windows and show what the burger should look like. Not exactly what you will get, but at least, people eat with their eyes. And that's the same with the website. What are they feasting on before they actually pick up the phone or click the contact us form in order for them to contact you? Do they know and are they clear on what it is that you offer? If you can help your visitors see what it is that you sell without having them navigate anywhere else, your chances of holding their interest actually shoots up. Remember, we've got 1 to 2 seconds in order for people to understand what it is that you can help them with. And if you can maybe do that in one sentence, then at least you have, bought their time and attention, without them having to snoop around your website, because nobody ain't got time for that. All right. So, that in and of itself won't cover everything, though. They'll have to go somewhere on your website to maybe then get the full details of what it is that you offer. But the key is to make that somewhere so easy to find that no one has to wonder where it is. All right. So within that first frame of your website, they should know who you are, what it is that you offer, and how. Maybe the process of, getting the result and what specific service is it that they will be engaging you for. Because people don't just want to pick up the phone and have you sell them, because remember, they don't have time for that. They want to go back to social media and scroll through the endless news feed just to know what else is happening in the world out there. They've got no time to let you figure out yourself. And one other thing is, when people show up on your website, can they instantly see clearly why you're interesting? All right. Nobody wants to be bored to death. You know what I mean? The world is already frustrating and people are depressed. The last thing they need is to just go to something that's just going to bore them to death and not even offer them any value or increase their energy. Because did you just listen how that last 3 seconds would have been like, come on, what's going on with this guy? Is he running out of batteries or what? All right. So different target customers want different things, out of places that they're spending money. Nobody wants to, you go to a restaurant and then nobody offers you a place to sit and with a smile or anything else. What do? You walk away, Some want their restaurants to be high energy, while others maybe prefer a quiet place to enjoy their meal, while some want novelty to be the number one draw. Okay, people live in an Instagram world right now. If the front of your restaurant or just anything within the restaurant doesn't create a picture, set up. For some people, they don't wish to spend time in there because they're not going to take a photograph and make a highlight of, have them having gone out. So that's why successful restaurants, I mean, I don't know why I'm talking about restaurants. I'm getting hungry now. Successful restaurants take this into account. Whatever decor, the content, or how they advertise and how they name their menus or how they name their burgers, all of that stuff creates interest and intrigue. And people want to know, oh, wow, I ate the Kirk burger or I ate the Spock burger. So live long and prosper, right? Star Trek references right there, But you need to make sure that you're communicating that this is a place that's going to offer people a good time, and you found your niche, your people. And that's why it's very important for you to identify your target audience, so that when people show up at your website, if you look at some of my photos on my website, it's just me happy, chirpy, and I'm like, yeah, high five. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to reach out from the computer and say, hey, check out what else I've got, because that's the personality I am, and that's the kind of person I want to connect with. So that's why you need to know your market and know, what they're looking for and what it is that they find particularly compelling, and give that, that stuff to them. So take a look at your website and ask yourself, are you actually communicating any of, the people's pain, their products, or them identifying your audience, especially? Because one thing that makes you easily persuade people is if you can actually encourage their dreams. If you know your ideal target market, you would know what they, find suspicious. Because at the end of the day, everyone out there is looking for belonging, looking for connection, and looking for peace of mind. And some people that are doing it on behalf of their bosses, they are looking for status. So if your website is not giving back any of those things within the first 1 to 2 or 3 seconds, whoa, what do you think people are going to be doing, spending their time hanging around with you? So you want to know your market. You want to know exactly what they find compelling. And then take a look at your website. Ask yourself, are you communicating any of that in a way that can help people notice? Because this is your brand. It is the one thing that people would need to connect with, because people do business with those that they know, like, and trust. How are people, going to separate you from other Me.Too coaches and consultants out there just simply because, of the way you speak, the way you show up, and the way you actually make sense of the world around them? Because each and every one of us thinks our problems and our scenario is unique. But if you can show up on the website by really showcasing that you understand their problem, you understand what they're going through, you understand the payoff that they might be looking for, even if they don't understand it, it gives them the confidence that, yes, you are the right solution provider for whatever it is that they're looking for. So there you are. There's 3 things that, people are looking for instantly when they show up on your website. Is it instantly clear what it is that you're doing? Is it instantly clear what it is that you offer? Is it instantly clear that you're interesting? Because nobody wants to pay money to something that is just going to be generic, vanilla, and boring. Are you capturing people's interest enough for them to say, wait a minute, if this guy is giving us so much value before we've even engaged, I wonder what it is, how they can then work with us when we start paying them. And guess what? This is not just with your website in and of itself. This 3-second rule applies to your podcast, your content, your blogging, everything that you're putting out there in order to connect with your audience. Because you have to be creating for the audience that you want to be demanding money off of. All right. So if you don't know how to do any of these things, it's time you go in and start studying, the clients that you have right now. Find out from them. What is it that they liked when they showed up at your website? What is it that they are benefiting from working with you? What is it that they would want to see more of? And that voice, that message, and that genuine, need to actually connect with and create for your audience is what will then help you, pass the 3-second rule. or the 3-second test that each and every one of us is being given, out there on our website. Because if you don't understand this, then it's going to make it super difficult for you to actually connect with any audience at all. Because whatever you're putting out there is what they are searching for. And I can understand growing your business is very, very tough. Right now you're probably cold calling potential clients and having them hang up in your face. It's because you don't pass the 3-second eyeball test. Who are you? And why should they care? And why should they do business with you? Is it clear what it is that you're offering? Or maybe you're sending out hundreds of emails without even getting as much as a, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. Who are you and why should they care? Or when people get on your website, are you instantly connecting with them or showing them what it is that they need to know about what you are offering without them having to snoop around? Because you don't want to insult people's intelligence. Because if somebody shows up on your website and they don't clearly understand what it is that you are doing, how can they defend you in a boardroom? How can they defend you to their spouse when your credit card, when their credit card statement comes in and they're like, what are we paying for? What is it that we're actually getting from this company? And that's the reason why people cancel their subscription, because they can't defend that in the in the credit card statement. So stop wasting hundreds of dollars or thousands for some people on ad spend without you generating qualified leads. Because even with ads, people want to know, is this what I'm looking for? Because Google gives them 500 different options. What makes your options stand out? Is it clear what you offer? Is it clear what they need to do? Is it clear how people need to engage with you? And is it clear what they're going to walk away with? Because if there's no clarity in any of those things, you don't pass the eyeball test. Because then sometimes it can start feeling like no one wants to buy what it is that you're selling. And when you actually rely on your business to pay rent and put food on your table, I cannot imagine how devastating that can be, or how you can actually start putting an enormous strain on your emotions when you're terrified of having to give up on your dreams. Or maybe have to return to a maybe 9-to-5 job with your tail tucked between your legs because you can't bring in new clients. And the only way to bring in new clients is to show them that you can help them by actually helping them. Help them understand what you do, how you offer them the value, and how they can engage with you. So we've got an online prosperity system that just simply shows you how to get high-ticket leads on autopilot, and we call it the online prosperity method. And it's a very simple system. We actually used it by throwing away the stale marketer's rule book and actually adopting cutting-edge new approaches, which actually just allow you within 3 seconds for somebody to know, like, and trust who you are. And it's actually helped me scale my own business from 0 to 450 clients in just about 6 years, when I came to Australia with nothing but a backpack full of hopes and dreams. And now we've got a staff of 16 people. And I've been able to live my dream lifestyle just because I've been able to get people to understand what it is that I provide and engage them and educate them within 3 seconds of showing up on my website. And I can show you how to use this system and skyrocket your business. So you've got 3 seconds to jump on my website, www.livelongdigital.com.au, and download the report that will make it easy for you to understand exactly what we're talking about, so that you can start generating leads that pay, stay, and refer. All right? And then you will notice all of these things that I'm talking about. You will notice as soon as you get on the website, it's clear what it is that we do. We help you target your audience, clarify your message, and then determine the media that you need to reach out to them for. Okay, who do we do it for? We do it for coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs who would love to get clients fast, but they don't know how, which happens to be you, my friend. And is it clearly instant, what it is that we are offering? We're offering to help you go from 200K to 2 million within 2 years using our widely controversial system that breaks every rule in the marketing playbook. So you don't have to sacrifice your income to do what it is that you love. You can absolutely do it both within the 3-second rule or sphere that our customers are giving us. All right. So you too can win this customer attention war. All right. You don't need to be an expert, marketer or digital marketer to make a website that actually captures attention. Your prospects or your visitors don't need to be dazzled by visuals, or pictures or whiz-bang tech stuff that we all put on our website. Or the one pet peeve that a lot of people have is that video that's playing behind the scenes that has got nothing to do with what you're offering. All right? No one is impressed by all those feats of content marketing superiority. If you really want to know a website from somebody who is actually making $1 billion, go to Warren Buffett's website. I think it's BerkshireHathaway.com or something like that. And notice just how simple it is. You get all the information that you want. It's clear what he does, and it's clear what they're offering, and it's clear why they're interesting, because they already have a defined target market that doesn't need whiz-bang websites in order for them to showcase who they are or whatever it is. What your customers want is to know within seconds whether your website is right for them, whether you're the right person for them, whether you have the right service for them. What they want to know within seconds is you've got the offers that they're looking for. What they want to know within seconds is, are you the right person who they're not going to waste their time on? What they want to know within 3 seconds is this the kind of place they would enjoy spending time, money, and effort just for them to get the result that they're looking for? I'll tell you something, if you nail those things, the battle is yours. Let's go to war. Yeah? Let's go and win the customer attention war. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au